Welcome back to Gandhi. Our first order of business today is not the campaign round, but a small correction of a few mistakes. First, I need to give the Raj one more support in Orissa, and then I need to kind of reshuffle these pieces in Bombay Presidency. Right, this guy goes here, this guy goes back there, and there. And the reason I need to do this is that I forgot about this rail line, which should allow a bunch of units from Madras to move into Bombay Presidency. So it's going to be this troop, all of these sepoys. This is more like it. Okay, I think I've fixed this, and now I can make a move on the campaign round. And I don't think I have a particular plan for it, unfortunately. I mean, I think I need to move my dudes out of Madras Presidency, and I'll need to do something else. Maybe shift somewhere here into Muslim areas, because I don't think I'm going to be getting my victory points without some support in the north. Some opposition in the north. More than there already is. Oh, and we could ride the crisis and just try to use our special faction ability during the crisis, and that is the ability to do non-cooperation in areas with Raj control. But the problem is we'd only be able to do stuff, like operate in 3 spaces at best on a good day, and that's with Satyagraha. That doesn't sound like much. We could end the crisis and prevent all other factions from using their abilities. Because, for example, the revolutionaries get to place... they get to place unrest in areas which have both Muslim League and Congress activists. So, they can place unrest in Bombay Presidency, they could do this in United Provinces, even without the presence of revolutionaries, even without area... Like, all revolutionaries could be uncovered, active, and they would still be able to do it just because there are 2 different activists in the area. Oh, here in Rajputana. Yeah, so it's pretty dangerous. And the League would be able to plonk down these Muslim states just by infiltrating in any space with a base. Well, it doesn't have that many spaces with bases, but it would be able to do it here in West Bengal. Not ideal, so I think I'd probably try to do something to bring us out of the crisis by negotiating things away. So I'll redeploy my forces. As I'm playing this campaign very, very slowly, I'm also reading a book very, very slowly, Insurgent Empire, Anti-Colonial Resistance and British Dissent, which is not about the history of various rebellions against the British Empire, but rather about how the idea that, maybe we are the baddies, and maybe Empire's not all that it's cracked up to be, was slowly entering into the heads of various people in Britain, how they learned to read various protests as texts and understand that they are not just some ignorant brown people getting uppity, and an actual expression of grievances created by an unjust and exploitative system, because, the British Empire was a resource extracting operation. And the book actually mentions some events in India, what was happening in India before Gandhi came in and took all the glory. And it turns out that there was actually a movement, an anti-colonial movement in India called the Swadeshi movement, which was struggling, advocating Swaraj, self-rule. And the thing is, they were the ones who started using various economic methods of resistance, strikes, boycotts, because they saw that Britain was in it for the money. And so they chose economic means of struggle rather than violent uprisings. Another thing they were doing, they were the ones who started the whole Hindu revival, a way to unite India under Hindu values. And this was what actually backfired. We're seeing the results of this in this game with a split between Hindu and Muslim communities. Because when Swadeshi started arguing that, let's all be Hindus and live happily without the British, the Muslims were like, hey guys, we also live here, what about us? Even though there were a few activists in the Swadeshi movement, or Muslim activists, on the whole, their thing was like very Hindu, and Muslims felt not very welcome. And then, of course, the British exploited this, trying to create more divides. For example, the partition of Bengal, which happened in 1905 and was a really bad move. It really pissed everyone off. But this partition of Bengal we see in this game, it only happened in 1905, just before, a decade before the events of this game. I don't think either side liked it. So yeah, a lot of techniques that Gandhi is using, that we're using here in this game, are not actually Gandhi's invention specifically. He is a figurehead, in a way. Something like this would have been happening in India even without him. At least that's possible, and Swadesh movement may be a small expansion for the game, like played on a small portion of the map, because I think they were active near Bengal mainly. I'm not sure because the game's playbook doesn't mention Swadeshi at all, and the book, Insurgent Empire, does not really cover geography for the most part. It's all about documents, it's all about Europeans coming into India or Egypt, other colonies, and looking at what was happening around them and what the fuck are we doing here? Anyway, on with the game, and we'll actually see a reference to the partition of Bengal later in this episode. There's one card dealing with it. The final step I need to take is reset Unity and Restraint to the number of campaign cards remaining in the deck. There's only one. So, we're now in Crisis, and this is the moment the die gets a bunch of cubes from out of play. Let's see how many. 4. And they're going to be dropped to spaces. I'll see where. It's done, dropping in additional sepoys, and it prefers places with unrest. Unfortunately, also the spaces where I got myself some opposition, so we might lose that. Alright, that's the campaign round done. Let's see what we've got for events. Card 2. Viceroy Irvin meets with Gandhi. In 1931, a year after the Salt March, Event 55, Viceroy Lord Irvin met with Gandhi in an attempt to convince him and Congress to participate in the upcoming Second Round Table Conference, Event 27. While the government agreed to release jailed activists and relax its restrictions on salt production in exchange for the end of civil disobedience, Gandhi was later criticized for ending the campaign with little to show for it. Alright, all factions should be eligible, and the first faction to go is the Raj, and the Raj is going to play Operation and Special Activity. Any underground guerrillas in support spaces? Yes. Troops in cities exceed troops in provinces. Yeah. There are no troops in provinces. Now it's going to sweep, right? Now first it's going to govern. It cannot remove protest where no activists, can it? There are no protests on the map. Imperialism. Oh, crap. Oh, it's only got 2 points, so it's going to do it only in one space. And it's going to prioritize either... I think the one of these two, because they have unrest. 4K is going to do it here, and it's going to remove unrest, and it's going to flip this one step towards support. Sweep. Oh, great. And that's the end of the sweep. Lucky. Now it is my turn. I could do a limited operation. That's not going to help me in any way, but I could also do the event. Release twice a die roll of activists from jail to any spaces. It doesn't sound like it's going to be useful because there are no activists, but the unshaded part of the event. Arrest up to 5 activists total in any support spaces. I could arrest all of these guys. And I could arrest... ooh, I don't know. This guy? Yeah, I could remove 5 Muslim League pieces out of the game. Pretty much until the end of the game, unless there's like an event. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm using the event. These guys go into jail, and these... this or this? Okay, let's remove this guy. Alright, they're in jail. We've dealt with our allies quite swiftly. Next up, card 18. Jinnah advocates for Muslim India. Born in 1876 in Karachi, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the leader of the Muslim League from 1913 until the establishment of Pakistan in 1947. Though he originally advocated Hindu-Muslim unity, Jinnah later came to see partition and a separate Muslim state as the only way to protect the minority Muslim community in India. He served as the first Governor-General of Pakistan and is known today as Qaid-e-Azam, Great Leader. Another partition event does not involve placement of any states, which is lucky. They're going to pass instead. And I lose my last ability to get unity up by 1. Right, so the revolutionaries are going to do something. I presume they are going to do something. 6+ guerrillas in India, yes. Crisis infiltrate to place a base. What? Unfortunately, you don't have any spare bases. Infiltrate to replace 1 adversary. Oh, here we go again. Die roll less or equal number of available guerrillas. Not bloody likely. Any underground guerrillas when no unrest. Here we go, unrest. It's going to be amazing. Because remember, the activation number for unrest is... oh, actually it's 3 on this card. Usually it's supposed to be R. It's equal to... weird. Oh well. Usually it's restraints, but this card it's just 3. They might have some bad luck, I fear. Here we go, bad luck. I knew it. Maybe this is a typo. Maybe I should check the errata document. Okay, the errata sheet I've got printed out, maybe a bit old, but it doesn't have anything about that particular card. Yeah. This was a fart. And next card is going to be Pakistan Declaration published in London, card 16. Released in 1933 during the Second Round Table Conference, card 27, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali's pamphlet was subtitled Now or Never, Are We to Live or Perish Forever? It was the first time the term Pakstan, later Pakistan, was used in print. Pakistan, yeah, they actually found the page of that declaration. Right, so this is a critical event for the League. Add 1 unrest marker to up to 2 Muslim no, they're going to play this. Add up to 2 bases to Muslim provinces with room. Ooh. This is going to be... unfortunately, all the room in Punjab is taken, so it's going to be one of the single pop ones. 2 of the single pop ones, right? The League got its bases, and it's probably going to infiltrate and place states somewhere here next time. But now it's my turn, and I get to do Operation and Special Activity. What am I going to do? What can I do? Well, I can negotiate to remove a state. In fact, I can negotiate pretty hard today because... Right, one space with Congress activists and no ranch control not selected for operations. It's going to be East Bengal. Next, we're going to remove any protest marker, shift restraint +1. Crisis is over, everyone. We've just ended it by negotiating. And this obviously immediately increases my ability to act by one more space. Right, now we're going to... The revolutionaries have already set it to neutral, so we're just cleaning up. This is far more manageable. Alright, we've negotiated one space, and we can negotiate in other spaces too. Now, what's going to be my next trick? My next trick is going to be taking all these guys... Maybe not all of these guys. Why not? Let's take all of these guys and demonstrating them to Bihar. And then I'm going to flip them into a protest next turn, and it's going to be painful. Okay, so yes, they can move out of here, even because I can move them out of the space where I did negotiate just now, because this is the target space for the demonstrate operation, so it's legal. Right, now do I want to demonstrate somewhere else with equally interesting results? I can demonstrate from Bombay Presidency to Coastal Andhra, and this actually lets me start a protest. Restraint is at 2. Okay, I've got 2 spaces. Am I going to demonstrate into a space with Gandhi? No, I'm not going to demonstrate into a space with Gandhi. I am doing quite well, thank you very much. Let's end the card play here. Do I do the next card? I could try doing the next card. Okay, card 65, United Bengal. Bengal was first partitioned by the British in 1905 into a Muslim-majority East and a Hindu-majority West. The move was very unpopular and sparked a Bengali nationalist movement that shocked the government. Although partition was reversed in 1911, the religious fault line running through Bengal would reappear in 1947, when British India was partitioned into Hindu India and Muslim Pakistan, which included East Bengal, but not Calcutta. East Bengal would later gain its independence from Pakistan in 1971-72, becoming Bangladesh. The revolutionaries are first on this card. They are not going to... Oh, are they going to pass? They're not going to pass. They're not stupid. Are they going to do another unrest? Any unrest revolutionaries bases without guerrillas? No. Oh, yes, yes. Sadly, yes. Well, I guess they're going to march. Do I roll? No. 3+ guerrillas in any spaces. Yes. Attack? Oh. Why? Fine. And it's a hit. These guys die. And there is unrest now here. Where is my unrest bucket? This is my bucket of unrest. Flip. And I get 2 more points. Are they going to attack anywhere else? Yes. Can they roll a 1? Let me see. No, they don't roll a 1. Here. Oh, wait, I need to check activation. They miss again. Okay, let's continue with 1 pop spaces. I think we got a hit. Hyderabad. At least I think I didn't get confused with all these multiple die rolls. Oh wait, this attack does not reset politics, it just places unrest. I get another point. And now they're in the running for the win. And are they going to do it in any more spaces? Rajputana? No, Alright. Okay. And they still got special activity, right? Yeah, they have a special activity to do. Which is 8 to go underground in 2 spaces. Oh, right. That's going to be nice. And they've gone underground after an attack. Immediately after an attack. Yes, that's allowed. I think in many coin series games, you're only allowed... The revolutionaries or insurgent factions are only allowed to go underground in spaces where they have bases. But not in this one. They can just do it anywhere. I guess it's because there are so many people in India. Right, so that was the revolutionaries' turn. It's... Good job for them. And as for the Raj is probably going to... Yeah, they're probably going to play the event. Either remove 1 Muslim state or arrest all activists in up to 2 states. Ooh, this is actually handy. Let's see what it's going to pick. It seems that here... Removes opposition and arrest Muslim state. Muslim state is higher priority than adversary pieces, so it's going to remove a state. Which one? It's going to be Punjab. State is removed. Muslim League victory points 8. And just a couple of turns ago they were in the winning bracket, and now they are pretty far down. Maybe I should start trying to put down the Raj again. Next we've got a train robbery to organize. And second roundtable conference. Oh, this is the card so many other cards have been referencing. Right, I'm going to stop here. This is actually going to be a pretty long campaign, I think, because we got our Viceroy on the first card when it was possible, so we've got... how many? How many cards are there left? Game, show me. 14. Okay, so... There are still 14 cards to go, and the new Viceroy, the final campaign card, will only come in the last 7, so yeah. Things may change quite a bit still.